All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Um, it's great to have you guys here with me today. Unfortunately, we have some good news. Well, not really good news, and we have some bad news. All right, so the bad news is that the camera broke like 2 days ago. I was up filming for another video for YouTube. I was actually in the mountains in Colorado. And while I was filming a group of deer, the camera basically got blown over while I was standing on the tripod by a gust of wind and happened to land like literally face down on the lens on like the side of a road. And yeah, so basically, luckily for me, I got a warranty on the camera because I figured something like this would happen, unfortunately. So it's currently getting repaired and I should have it in a couple of weeks. But we are back with a video because I'm uploading once a week, like I said. And but this video is going to be filmed on my phone. So back to the phone video for probably the next 2 or 3 videos. Hopefully I get that camera as soon as possible. But let's get it. So today's topic of this video is how to gain muscle, how to gain weight as a skinny guy, and the best things you can do in order to bulk up as a skinny guy. So a little about me first is that I started off my journey like I was 110 pounds, and I think I was 14 or almost 15 years old at the time when I really, had enough and I decided I wanted to lock in. So I guess I must have been 5'8", maybe 5'7" when I started my journey, and yeah, that was rough. Let me tell you, like, I'm sure a lot of you guys watching, if you are skinny guys, maybe you're not, you could still benefit from this video. But I was 110 pounds when I started, and I was as thin as a twig, and I've always been, somewhat athletic, so I never really felt like, it was holding me back. But being skinny, because I was agile, and I was fast, and I could move. So I never really felt like super like I was always underperforming. But what I did feel like was that I was weak, like, and my confidence was suffering because of it. I felt like people were just able to push me around, and people would just talk shit on me for no reason, and there was nothing I could do about it because what the hell am I gonna do? I'm gonna hit him, bro. Like, everyone was like literally twice my size, and it was nerve wracking. So amongst other things, I didn't like looking at myself in the mirror. I was worried what other people were gonna think. When they saw me with my shirt off. And obviously, it affected my confidence like a lot. So I decided I had enough, and in about towards the end of ninth grade, or perhaps it was the beginning of 10th grade, I decided to start taking the gym seriously. Now, in this video, I'm going to tell you a couple of things that I wish I knew right when I started out at the gym, because yeah, I think I would have seen a lot more progress if I had known these things at the beginning. So, in when starting out, it's very important to, obviously you're going to learn more as you go on. No matter how much I tell you, you're just always going to get better. You're going to perfect your, technique, your split, everything in the gym. You're going to start perfecting your diet over time. But for me, when I started, for the first like 2 years of lifting, I didn't know shit about my diet. I didn't know anything about how to eat right. And even my training, I mean, for the first year in the gym, I was just messing around. Like, I was training hard, but I didn't really know much about hypertrophy or what it takes to grow muscle. So I'm gonna go over some of this stuff right now, and I'm a kind of not really go in order, but I'm gonna be talking a lot more about the diet side of things, because people say that gains are made in the kitchen, and the people that say that are right. Obviously, you got to train hard, but as we know, skinny guys, most of us have never really had an appetite, and we have super fast metabolism. So whatever we eat kind of just goes in and out. So I'm going to explain to you guys how it works. So, number one, in order to gain weight, you have to eat in a calorie surplus. Now, having fast metabolism means that you burn more calories than the average person. So that means that you need to eat more calories than the average person in order to gain weight. So you can find out basically what your maintenance calories are. Now, this is the amount of calories that you can eat in a given day, and you will just stay the same weight and you won't lose any weight if you just eat this amount of calories. Now, to find that out, you would go to basically online, just Google like calorie tracker or Google calorie maintenance calculator, and it'll just come up. You'll put in some information like your height, your weight, where you want to be in a year, how much you want to weigh in a year, and it'll help you figure out how many calories you have to be eating every day in order to get to your goal. So that's the number one thing that you have to know. You have to eat in a calorie surplus. So say your maintenance calories a day are 3,000 calories or 2,700 calories. I think mine are about 2,700. Now that means if I eat less than 2,700 calories and I don't get in that 2,700, I'm gonna lose weight. I'm gonna lose weight, and that's called being on a cut. That's what happens when you lose weight. Now, say I wanted to gain weight, I would up that. I wouldn't up it by a crazy amount at the start because I know the number one thing is consistency, and I just wouldn't be able to stick to it if I immediately hopped on 4,000 calories. I'm eating 1,300 more calories than I need to in order to gain weight, and I just know that's not sustainable because I just don't have the appetite to sustain that at the moment when I started. Right now, I'm doing it, but I don't advise it if you're beginning. I advise just maybe say try eating 3,100 calories or 3,200 calories. Just up it by 500 calories, and you'll start seeing a change. Now, also, you have to keep in mind that you're going to be burning calories, especially if you're playing sports in your high school or in college or whatever. You're going to be burning calories. So you have to account for how many calories you burn, and then you have to eat those calories back up in addition to what you should be eating on that bulk. So in 3,200 calories, and so you're on that bulk, your maintenance is 2,700, and you're supposed to be eating 3,200 to bulk, but then again you're also playing soccer or basketball or football, and you're running around for 2 hours a day. You're probably burning 300 to 500 calories during that span. So what you have to do is you have to add on another 500 calories. So now you actually have to eat 3,700 calories because you're doing all that moving and burning to cover up for all those lost calories. All right, now the second thing is that for us skinny guys, it's a lot of times it's very hard to get those meals in. So what I recommend is having, these are not substitutes for meals, but these are just in addition to help you get more food into your system and more calories, more protein. So I advise getting liquid calories. Now, what liquid calories are is you would get a shake, a protein shake, or just make your own shake. Me personally, what helped me gain like at least 40 pounds in like a stretch of like a year and a half was every day I would have a protein shake. I'd put in 2 scoops of whey protein, and then I'd have about a cup of Greek yogurt, and then a banana or two, a little bit of peanut butter or PB2, and then some honey because sugar is just not it. Honey is way better than sugar, and that just adds a little bit of sweetener. Now you can obviously put in whatever flavored Greek flavored Greek yogurt if you'd like, vanilla flavored or whatever. But I think plain is better to go because it's just healthier. Um, no sugar. So that is what I ate, and it was easy 750 calories to start off in the morning just from that shake. And on top of that, I would have other food too, like say I would have eggs and I would have a bagel maybe. So yeah, that's what I would eat in the morning, and that was an easy 1,300 to 1,500 calories just to start off my day for meal one. All right. Now the second thing is I would advise eating about 4 meals or 5 meals if you can a day because it's very hard as a skinny person to have like 3 huge meals because you just don't have the appetite for that. So I advise splitting the meals up into smaller portions but still getting in the same amount of food, except you don't have to eat as much in one shot. All right. Now, the next tip I would say is eat a lot of snacks throughout the day. Eat a lot of healthy protein snacks. Maybe have a couple of protein bars throughout the day. Just something that's not processed and something that's healthy. It could even be like some fruit or an avocado or, just something that'll help you get in some more of that protein, the fats, the carbs, whatever you need. And then my next thing is in order to help boost your appetite, which I found is you have to drink a lot of water because drinking a lot of water, I find it expands your stomach a bit, which allows you to have more of an appetite, which also helps you eat more food basically because it correlates to your appetite. And drinking a lot of water is also it's essential for gaining weight. because the water is going to go into your muscles, especially if you're on creatine. I would heavily advise hopping on creatine. Even if you're bulking, even if you're cutting, it makes no difference. Just hop on creatine. It'll help you gain weight. It'll help you push harder in the gym. And overall, I think it just, it adds to the aesthetic. Um, Next, I would always say when tracking your food, because I think tracking your food is something I've only started doing in these past 5 months, and I wish I would have started sooner. I'm basically on my fifth year of training right now, and I think I would have seen like a ton more progress if I would have started tracking my food earlier. So what I would say here is that always track your food, get a food scale, start tracking it, download a macros app, that way you can track all your meals. There's a lot of free ones out there. I'm not trying to sell you shit right now, but you can definitely get a free one. Um and when you track it, say you tracked 100 grams of beef, right? That's for one meal. You have 100 grams of beef, and say the scale says it's 101 grams or 105 grams. What I would do if the scale says 105 grams, don't enter in 105 grams, enter in 100 grams, because maybe there'll be a scrap on the plate that you won't eat, or maybe you will eat the whole thing, and the whole thing is actually 110 grams. But what you don't want to do is have 105 grams and calculate it as 110 grams, because then you're cheating yourself. Why cheat yourself? Always go a little bit under, because it won't kill you. If you're a skinny guy, you can always eat more than what you need to be eating in order to gain weight. That's just the whole goal: gain weight. So never undercut your calories. Never overcut your calories when you're counting. All right. Next thing. So here I'm just gonna go through the list of what I think are the best foods in order to get that protein in and those calories in. Now remember, I think the best amount, obviously everyone has something different to say about the amount of protein that you should be eating when you're gaining weight, when you're bulking. But I personally think that the amount of protein you should be eating is about 1.5 grams per body weight. Now I found that that works really well, especially in recent months with me. Now, if you really cannot get that amount of protein in, which obviously it's going to be hard for the first couple of days and a couple of weeks, but then you just get used to it and you're able to get it in, is I would say maybe just go down to 1.2. So now let's do some math. Say you weigh 150 pounds, right? And that what is 1.5 grams of protein for your body weight? Now, 1 gram of protein for your body weight would obviously be 150 pounds. Now, what's 1.5? We divide 150 in half and we get 75. And we're going to add 75 onto that 150, and we're going to come out with 225 grams of protein. Now, that is how much protein you should be eating every single day. If you are 150 pounds and you're eating 1.5 grams of protein per body weight. Now, obviously, if that's too much, because it might be too much as a beginner, you can always drop down to 1.2, and maybe you'd be looking a little bit more like 190 grams of protein, which is also very solid. Now, what you cannot do is get less than 150 in a day. If you get less than 150 in a day, you're cheating yourself. You just can't be doing that. And you're just not going to see optimum progress. Now, here, back to the foods that I think are most essential in order to get that protein in and those calories in. So, what I eat, and number one thing, protein powder. Always got to have protein powder every single day. Liquid calories, like I said earlier, and it just helps with gaining weight and getting that protein in. Super easy to get in, super easy if you have low appetite. All right, next thing, eggs. Can't get enough of the eggs. Eggs are also easy to down. What I advise is undercooking them a little bit. That way, excuse me, you can just basically you barely even have to chew it, because they're just it's not hard to chew, not hard to swallow, just eggs. Next thing, I would have probably eggs. Starting with that, I'd probably have 4 to 6 eggs a day. Then now that right there is about 30 to 40 grams of protein. Next, I would have Greek yogurt, like I said earlier. You mix it with your shake, or just put it in a bowl. Make sure to weigh it. Eat it with your granola. Put some honey in there, some bananas, some fruit. Great food. Greek yogurt. All right. Second, ground beef. Third, ground beef. Ground beef is phenomenal. It's got loads of protein, loads of calories, and it tastes good. And I just absolutely think it's the best thing to eat, especially when you mix it up with rice. Put a little bit of seasoning in there, some sauce. Great meal. Absolutely fantastic. Next, we have chicken, and I think chicken and ground beef are kind of interchangeable. You can even have them both in one day. Chicken is also a fantastic source of protein, and obviously it doesn't have as much calories as ground beef, but it is phenomenal to get in. Loads of protein. Next, milk. I definitely advise drinking a cup or 2 cups of milk a day because 1 cup of milk is 8 grams of protein. 2 cups of milk is 16 grams of protein. 8 ounces for each ounce is 1 gram of protein. Very easy protein to get in and solid calories too. About a cup of milk is about 150 to 200 calories. So very solid food. Next, now this is kind of dirty, and this is a cheat that I actually use to gain a lot of weight. I ate a lot of pasta. Now listen, I don't think pasta is obviously a processed food, and I don't think it's one of the best and healthiest foods to be eating, if we're gonna be real. Because obviously I definitely would say eat ground beef and chicken and all those other foods before you turn to pasta. But pasta is super easy calories, very easy carbs, great energy. But remember, you're also gonna have that crash at some point after you eat that pasta. So what I suggest is that have that pasta after you work out or right before you work out. Because if you, or I'm saying even if you have it right before you work out, you're kind of in dangerous territory because you may be kind of feeling like bloated during your workout, and that's just a shit feeling. So I would suggest having that after your workout because about an hour or 2 hours after you have that pasta, you're kind of gonna feel like a crash just from all the the carbs in your system. Um, great source of calories and carbs. Great for bulking. Fantastic. Help you gain a ton of weight. Next, I would say tuna. Tuna is great. Tuna's got loads of protein. Such good amount of protein for the size of the can. Just absolutely phenomenal choice. But when it comes to calories, obviously not that crazy. So I would definitely say tuna is great for bulking, but tuna is great for just getting in that protein, whether you're cutting or you're bulking. But just keep in mind that on the bulk, it does not have that much calories. Next, tilapia. Tilapia, I don't know if you guys like fish, but it's chock full of protein, not as much as chicken. But I definitely think it's great because you're gonna burn out if you have chicken every single day. So tilapia, I have tilapia, a couple times a week. Next, we'll have obviously we need a filler for carbs, especially since we're bulking, and we need to get in a lot of carbs. So what we're gonna want to have is about maybe 2 to 3 meals a day. You're gonna have rice or quinoa. Now rice is chock load of carbs, chock full of protein. Now remember to weigh the rice before you cook it because that's the proper way to do it when weighing rice. After it's cooked, it gains basically 3 times the amount of weight. So you're cheating yourself if you're weighing in thinking that you're eating, the right amount after you've cooked it. So rice and quinoa, I actually like quinoa better, even though quinoa is like a little bit harder to get down. And I personally think I like the taste of rice a little better. But quinoa has way more calories and way more protein than rice. So I definitely recommend quinoa over that. Okay, now that is my tips in order to gain weight as a skinny guy. Now, number one, you got to always remember, always eat more than what you think you're eating because us skinny guys tap out at some point and we're like, man, I've eaten so much today. It's not true. You can always eat more. You're tricking yourself. You can always have more food in your system. Okay. Now, number two is that you have to remember consistency is key every single day. If you miss a day of eating, listen, man, it happens. We get sick once in a while. We have no appetite. This happens to everyone. We're all human beings. We get sick, and sometimes we just have a week or a couple of days where we just can't eat much, and that's okay. All right. Don't feel bad about it. Don't feel like you've lost all your progress because you haven't. Just hop back on it as soon as you can and remember to stay consistent with it, okay? That's all that matters. All right? And number three, obviously, remember, train hard in the gym. Keep learning more. Keep your split going. Make sure to get some rest. Make sure to sleep well every single night and make sure to get all that watering. All right? Now, I really hope you guys got something insightful from this video, whether or not you are bulking or cutting or, whatever, maintaining. So, right now, I just want to say that I'm no longer 110 pounds. I'm almost 180 pounds. And right now I am bulking. And I'm going for that 185-pound marker. And in a year, I certainly hope to be at least 190 pounds. So I think I'm on great track to that. And I'm always learning more. I'm always open to learning more. If you have any more insightful things about, just gaining weight, cutting, bulking, all the above, drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys have. And like I said, I'm always open to learning from you guys. Thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this part of the video. Now on to the workout. We are about to hit a chest workout and we are on week 8 of the Maxwell Krause program. Let's get it, boys.
workout completed. We just did some cardio. I think we limited it to like we only burned about 100 calories in like 10 minutes or something like that. I just like to, exercise my heart a little, make sure everything's healthy, even though I'm on the bulk, and that just means I have to eat just a little bit more food. But that's okay, because we feel good, and yeah. So I appreciate you guys for making it this far into the video with me, if you're still watching. I hope to have that camera back very soon, and I hope you guys gain something insightful from this video. All right, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see y'all in the next clip. Be sure to like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys.